What I've realized that most students here, like from what I've seen, is that they give each other the space to actually express, and where disagreements are, they are very respectful disagreements.
When we came into the groups and some of the international students colleagues were trying to contribute, this leader was sort of like downplaying all the contributions, like practically, and I do not know whether it's a personality thing.
The beauty about my university and many other universities here, that they have so many of these resources, like the e-library, the physical library, the internet, which is accessible all the time, 24-hour reading. So I feel like I've not felt left out at any single point in time because of these resources, because even the professors themselves, they're so available.
I adapted to the flexibility while answering, sort of asking questions to professors, because I noticed that it's not only welcomed, but it's encouraged, and it's also one way of letting the professor know how much you understood or in what way you understood what he said.
Some classes, the professors have given us the option either to come to the classroom or to be anywhere and study. And it reached a point where the students were coming to the lecture
became fewer and fewer.
And everyone was always on Zoom. And the professor was like, if next time I don't have this number of students, I am stopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Off the Equator show, a show that is dedicated to sharing about international student life here in Austria, in Germany, and Switzerland, specifically for students who are coming from the non-European countries. And today my name's Isaac and Hamza.
Yeah.
We are talking about the European classroom experience and how it differs from back home or your own country. So we'll just, have a raffle here of questions that we think, when answered, can give you an example, an idea of what it is. Was it my turn, your turn?
It was my turn. You are going to
ask you.
Yeah. But please, as you're going to ask me, if you're new here, please subscribe. Give this video a like, share it with a friend who you think may be of helpful to them. By doing so, it shows that you appreciate the kind of content that we are creating, but also it gives us motivation and signals of what kind of more content that we can create. And by the way, if you have questions, comments, let us know down in the comment box of this video.
Lovely. So, question for you, ready? So we've talked about group projects. How do you speak up without talking over people or disappearing?
I can choose to disappear anytime.
Yeah.
Like, no, me. Yeah. I remember one time at uni, I was in a cafeteria and I had come to ask a question, one of the people at the cafeteria, because this person so happened, I've met her before in another cafeteria and she was working there. So I came to ask her a question regarding something I was looking for and she didn't know. So she asked me to, she called one of the persons who was seated in the cafeteria because probably she thought that person knows, and this person came. And so we started to, so she asked her the place and that person suggested the place. And then I was really happy. And then I asked her a question about how life is, and that person responded like, everything is messed up. Don't you see don't you see what is happening? Are you blind? I was like, because then she was like what the mainstream media is saying and everything. So I was like, oh, I didn't expect that response. Because I took it a bit personal when she asked me, and also the tone that she used. Are you blind? Are you blind to ask such a question? Don't you see what is happening in the world? I was like, that is a bit what I didn't expect. I was just, like, how is life going? And guess what I chose? I chose to disappear.
Okay, now that was a personal project, but now in group projects where you can't disappear.
Yeah, so I wanted to first paint you a picture and say, even within the university environment, you could also experience such a thing.
Yeah.
But in a classroom environment, if you disagree, you can sometimes decide to just keep quiet. It's an option. You don't have to respond to anything. You don't have to prove yourself all the time or to prove that you are right or your opinion should be heard or whatever. Sometimes but what I've realized that most students here, like from what I've seen, is that they give each other the space to actually express. And where disagreements are, they are very respectful disagreements. I don't know, maybe for masters, because probably the students are a bit grown up. I don't know for how the bachelor's is, but students are really very open-minded, and I've not come in a situation where we have to cross or exchange words in a non-respectful way. It has been more of a suggestion kind of way, where we have like a disagreement, maybe on a topic or something that we're working on together.
I think also this question goes more to project work, group project work, and not indirectly with situations where you're exchanging words or heated conversations, but just in normal contribution. Because I've seen groups where somebody just wants to dominate everything, but then other people just keep quiet. But at the end of the day, it's group project. Everyone will be evaluated, and then that balance of not disappearing and not overshooting everybody.
Yeah, I can answer. What I know is that some students they are so-called outspoken, so they feel like their opinion matters, and that's what you should go with. I remember one time when a professor shared us an assignment, and the professor was like, you know what? You have these 7 PDFs. You are 4 people, so you have to choose how you're going to divide these PDFs, because we had to read those PDFs and we had to summarize them and we have to write short notes, and from those we had to write a 2-page report. And these PDFs are like 25 pages each.
Yeah.
So one student was like, so since we are 4, so he was like, okay, me, I'm taking these 3 PDFs, so you guys can do all the other work. So I was like, we didn't decide this. So he just made the decision, and he was like, so we were like, okay, because sometimes I am a kind of, personally, I try to avoid friction. And I was like, okay, if that is what he has decided, and we were like with other students, okay, let's do what is left, and then we'll wait if he can actually deliver on his promise, then it's good for the group. But if he can't deliver on the promise, then it's too much work for him, and then at the end of the day, the group
is affected.
Yeah, thank God it worked out.
Okay, yeah. So me specifically, I was always very conscious about that, because I wanted to first of all understand the normal, because I didn't impose anything, so I was more of laid back in the beginning to be observative, to see if we start any group work and any group project. I see, okay, what is the standard? What is the mode of, what is the mode of conversation? How are people approaching tasks? And then if I saw that something was not moving, then I start giving my suggestions, contributions. What sometimes there was a situation where it was frustrating, where a person was stuck onto something that was not working, but they were not willing to let it go. And you're realizing that we are going in loops and nothing is being done just because a certain person wants a specific thing to be done that way, and the rest is not agreeing. And then even that, you still have to, still endure, or you find a way of remaining chill and composed. But I think for me, it's always been that I am very receptive, and I see that, okay, what is going on? Maybe this one wants to talk too much. if what they're doing is working, and you let it. If they're just disturbing the group, then at some point you just step in and like, yeah, but I'm thinking you're overshadowing everybody. Maybe what person AB, what do you think about this? So I was more of that attentive person to see that everybody can contribute. Yeah.
Interesting. So thank you for that contribution. And I think I've got something for you now. Ready?
Fire away.
Tell me about a painful group project story. What did it teach you about how things work here? First of all, do you have a painful group project story?
Yeah, I have a project that was very painful, in a sense that they call it the semester project. So we do this project in the 4th semester most of the times. And this project is sometimes either the topic is led by a professor and supervised by them. Others are just from the industry. So a company shares a topic that they want students to work on. So ours was with a consultancy firm, mostly in the direction of SAP or SAP, the ERP software. And so when with this project we were mixed up, students from the international information systems, who are predominantly international, like from all over, with the Wirtschaftsinformatik, that is the German course of the information systems, who are predominantly German speaking and like culture and everything, and other from the computer science. And so it was a mixed up group. And so of course there was the default assumption of leadership, which was taken by a German person, which was okay. And then now we got into the issues of language, which language should be used. So in the beginning, the German speaking were like, oh, it's okay, we could use English. But then we noticed later on that it wasn't working, because then they were more silent. And when they talked, sometimes they were creating like private discussions out of the main discussion groups that were doing within themselves. And they were coming, and then they're talking about, oh, me and so, we talked about this, and we thought. And you're like, hey, but we're a group of 7, 8. Why is it that you're coming and representing 3 people, an idea from 3 people? Yeah, I thought it should be. So then later we've said, okay, let those who speak English, and those who speak German. Challenge was that the industrial partner or the company was the people. There were 2 people attached to the project. They were giving instructions and everything in German. And I do not know whether we didn't play our part to remind them that some of us are learners, we are not as fast. So they were speaking at the normal pace, and one was very, very hard to understand. The other was okay, like just normal German. So that made it painful, and was not the instructions, but was that the Germans got the instructions completely clearly. Then when we came into the groups, and some of the international students, colleagues, were trying to contribute, this leader was sort of like downplaying all the contributions, like practically, And I do not know whether it's a personality thing, like this person, or I do not know. And at some point, it even, like they would assign a task to me or to somebody, and that person does it. But maybe they have not done it the way that leader wants, specifically him. He would go and overdo the work, like redo or undo whatever you did, and do it the way they want. And then when you come to a presentation or in a group discussion, that's when it hits you like, oh, what I did was changed. And then someone is telling why they changed what you did.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. This is
and one of my friends from the International Information System was not impressed with this guy. And at some point, they became heated conversation, where he was actually saying, okay, I'm giving up on this project. I'm talking to the professor that I'm no longer part of the school, And then, of course, I had to see him and be like, hey, we've already sacrificed a lot of time. Let us go through. So that made it painful because at the end of the day, it affected us, the English speaking, because when they gave the marks, they were giving the points differently based on contributions. Like when the professor was there for supervision, who did this, who did that, and of course the German person or the people, they were more involved and they were more listening to each other. They got better grades than the rest of us. So for me, that was a bit painful because again, it's your marks.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you?
For now, not not to that extent.
Okay.
At least, yeah.
Nice.
Question for me?
Good. I have a question for you. So when you feel left out or ignored in class, what's your go-to move?
Okay. When did I feel left out? It's the first question. I think I cannot really point at a single time where I really felt like I'm left out, because simply that's it. I haven't. But maybe because there are many resources out there to use at the university. Like I've had one of the hardest subject this semester. It is so hard that you have to go in the library and open books, and you have to research and just to go back to the basics to get the fundamentals of what this really does. And the beauty about my university and many other universities here, that they have so many of these resources, like the e-library, the physical library, the internet, which is accessible all the time, 24-hour reading. So I feel like I've not felt left out at any single point in time because of these resources, because even the professors themselves, they're so available. Like you can send an email and in 1 or 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you get a response from the professor and be like, was he just simply waiting for an email from me? So there is that really, it's an environment which has made me at least feel not left to be left out. That's what I can say. For you, felt left out some point?
Yeah, there's one moment. I think that we have there's a professor that I found very, very hard to deal with. He for me came off as very unfriendly to international students, and even up to now, I do not know what the real problem is actually. And at some point, of course, you, as an introspective person, you're forced to think, is it a problem with me? But then I noticed that it wasn't only with me, it was also with other individuals. So left out in the sense that there's a time I was very passionate about this subject. And because, it's part of the trending technologies and you're like, okay, this is crucial to what I want to do, in my day-to-day life. But this lecturer made it very, very hard to, even when you ask questions, he made you feel like you're stupid, actually.
Wow.
To ask this question. Either he brushed it off or he addressed it in a way that shows you off as either you're inattentive or you are something dumb.
Yeah.
And it really, really, and I think in only this subject, I got the worst marks in my entire bachelor, And for me, my challenge was that you were a professor I'm a student. There's nothing you need to prove to me. You know, you're in a position of leadership, of power, and I mean, nothing you have to prove to me. I'm just a student. I'm just here to study. You know, so that was the only moment. The rest of the professors were always very, very, you know, present and always willing to help, and they were attentive or sensitive to the diversity that was in the class. Other than that, I didn't feel left out in any other way. I think just like you, the materials are always there, and I felt like the majority of professors provided as much information as possible, give you books you can read in the notes. And so if something didn't work out, it was either your fault. You know, mostly your fault.
Off to the next one. We just have only 2 more questions remaining. So bear with us, our viewers. And hey, if you are just coming here for the first time, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. My name is Hamza with Isaac.
Isaac here.
From Germany, and I study from here in Austria. Why are you cheating?
No, I was just looking around, observing.
I can choose to cheat.
I was just observing just twisting my leg to stretch a little bit.
I see.
Yes.
How do you adapt to the European classroom rules without losing who you are?
A very, very present question, actually. I do not know if many people are attentive, but to me, I was very conscious about the things that I needed to lose, or things that I could lose from my personality or from my culture, and things that I wanted to keep. Because like I mentioned in the beginning, that it's not a vacuum. So you come with the influence from outside class into class, and then it influences how you experience the classroom behavior or environment. So the question is about how
do you adapt to the classroom rules without losing who you are?
Yeah, so in one way, I adapted to the flexibility while answering, sort of asking questions to professors, because I noticed that it's not only welcomed, but it's encouraged. And it's also one way of letting the professor know how much you understood, or in what way you understood what he said. And it would help him then to judge whether I need to explain it in a different way or to just continue. The other was in group works. I think one thing I learned also is to try and involve everybody, even in topics where I felt like, okay, this I could do easily by myself, but then to try and involve other people up until the moment where you see someone cannot really deliver, and then you take up the role and do it. Or sometimes it even was the other way around, that I could not really be present because of one way or the other, or reason or the other, and someone actually takes up the role, and then you agree that, okay, I maybe will present, to sort of make things fair. The other things I tried, that these are just out of even classroom, is just to try and keep the social part active, because without it, then you're depressed. Trying to be freer with people, and just have some, like in the corridor, hey, what's up? That kind of lively environment around you. So that's what I did.
Yeah, thank you. Quite revealing, and it seems like you are more of a mood setter.
I don't know. That's if I can set mine as first. If I can set mine first, then maybe
you can also set for others.
Sometimes you fail to set your own mood. I do not know if I'm that part, but I know I can regulate, but not from front, mostly from behind, because then you're just trying to motivate those who are lagging behind,
Mm.
but not jumping ahead and just be like, hey, I'm now running the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you?
I have no experience with that.
Are you been cutting class?
It's a good question.
Either you've
There's some
virtual
truth to
class,
that.
either virtual class, or you've been cutting class.
There's some truth to
There's
that.
not enough data
Not
to analyze. To analyze. So, second last question. First day in a European classroom. What shocked you the most?
Gadgets.
But did gadgets yours or?
Hey, the screens are like this.
Yeah.
The cameras in the classrooms, the seating arrangement. All the classrooms usually have this socket for each student.
Yeah.
Clean classrooms, well-maintained classrooms. The professor.
Did you have to say clean?
Well-maintained, I should say.
Okay, but clean.
Professors have this dock where they stand in front with a huge table and the computer that is always there, and it is these screens that are always flying out from anywhere, and this hybrid thing. I don't know where it started from.
My
Corona.
imagination, I'm imagining screens flying.
This hybrid thing where the professor is having a lecture in the classroom, but there are also students who are somewhere, anywhere, and they're also attending the same class.
Yeah.
I find this really nice because some classes, the professors have given us the option either to come to the classroom or to be anywhere and study. And it reached a point where the students were coming to the lecture
became fewer and fewer.
And everyone was always on Zoom. And the professor was like, if next time I don't have this number of students, I am stopping, and then somehow. But what really first day, on the first day, what really shocked me was the environment is simply different in the classroom. It's not where or how it has been for me where I studied from. Yes, where I studied from, it also was a well-facilitated
school.
School and classrooms and I would say European standard. But here it's again also different from, for example, when you start in winter, you come from outside, it is so cold, and then you enter the lecture room, it is so warm again, so you have to take off all the jackets and put them somewhere. But generally, speaking of the studying experience in my very first time in the classroom, I would say I struggled to find what should I do in this moment. Should I write the notes? Should I just see on the PDFs? Should I just use on my laptop? Should I just listen to the professor? So I was in this in between. I'm not so sure. What should I do at the moment? And then you look on the side, some students just listening to the professor, others are writing something, and you are in this, okay, will I need some notes later? And you're not so sure. And also, we have these platforms like Moodle, and then you have course. And in Moodle is where the professors put most of the materials before the class starts. And every student has access to this, but I didn't know that actually there is the materials there. This is the first class, so I'm there. I know I have this class from the timetable. I see I have this class, but then when I enter the lecture, I see the professor is going through the notes.
Very fast.
Yeah. Where is this? And then I was asking one of my colleagues, okay, a friend who was sitting nearby, okay, what's happening here? Because I also see his colleague was having these notes on his computer. I was like,
where did you get them?
Like, you have those ones in Moodle. And I'm like, what is Moodle? So now. Yeah, so these are, these are things I would say you would figure out in the first 2, 3, 4 weeks. Some will still struggle to know where they are. Like at the end of the semester, your marks or your results are somewhere in another platform, and you have to go check that platform to see the results, but you have to check specifically where. So, what shocked me the most? Yeah, it was, I had to just adjust from what I knew and just accept the new system, the new of learning, new of sitting, the atmosphere within the classroom. And of course, the lecturer or the professor you don't feel that kind of distance or gap between you and the professor. He's like a friend. He's like someone you know every day. He speaks casually and tries to explain things in a simple way. So that is also another shock. But generally, the biggest shock, I would say, these online platforms where the materials are put, because ideally from the university where I was, the materials are sent via email. Or someone shares the email somewhere, and then you receive them. You're on the flash disk. And then here you have to log into a certain platform, then look for that course, and then you have to go for those materials and look. Yeah, so that is, but then later on you get used to.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that's experience. Mine is similar to yours. I think for me, one thing that I would like to notice that in the first, I really tried to keep up with writing on paper. I had blocks of paper and writing. Up to a moment where I realized this is not efficient enough. And then you notice people have tablets, and you're like, do I need a tablet? Until when I realized that, with the tablet, you can actually do annotations. You open the PDF, you write on top, which can be very easy for you, that you don't have to write everything, but you just make the notes on, so that when... And I was forced to buy a tablet myself. And but the rest is the way you experience.
I actually realized a tablet is one of the best core material to take notes. For note taking, it is so good because open the PDFs there, it is touch screen, you can write on it, and you have like a secondary notebook just there with you. It's one of the most efficient ways to.
And speaking apropos tablet, one thing I noticed, the speed of internet and access in every lecture room, because the sockets you talked about, the power sockets, at ours, they also have on the side the internet network socket ports. But actually, nobody almost uses them. But you could find that every classroom had very good internet speed, and anywhere in any lecture room, you get access to internet. And using these gadgets becomes like second nature. You don't even feel any difficulty. It's connected every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Second last, the second last, which after the last one we have. Before the last one, we have this one. All right. Was there one aha moment when you thought, okay, this is how school works here?
Yeah, there was aha moment was in the exams actually. But before the examination time. What was aha moment for me was that professors were doing examination preparation sessions, and I was like, okay, wait a minute, this is interesting, Where I come from, a professor will tell you read from cover to cover, even read extra things, watch the news. Anything, any question could come from anywhere. But here, professors were very interested in, scoping the exam and telling you, so yes, this is relevant for your future, but for the exam is not very relevant. These parts and these parts and these parts, which I found in the beginning very awkward. But then I got to realize that, it's not about feeding your brain with so much stuff that actually are not relevant for you, but it's about understanding if you got specific concepts and to help you focus your attention and your efforts. The next to that, during the exam, that's when now it came into play why the professors prepare, because you have 60 minutes. And for subjects like math or programming or whatever that require some logic and structured thinking, there wasn't so much time to think. So it means you have to prepare really well, that when the exam starts, short answers,
Exactly.
and you have to be fast.
Yeah.
You know, that's when now the aha moment came, like, okay, so this is
Exactly.
how it happens here. You know,
I perfectly relate to that. There's an exam which I did. Most of our exams are like 90 minutes. And
you have 3 hours an exam.
90 minutes.
Oh no, I mean in Uganda.
Yeah, in Uganda it's 3 hours.
2 hours and a half.
Yeah. So 90 minutes and the exam is total marks 90 marks. 90.
So each minute per mark.
For so I was like, so for the first exam, which was this way 90 minutes, I didn't finish because everything was with writing. We didn't have to use a computer or write a program. I didn't finish the exam because the time was just running out. I just didn't see myself, So now when I asked my friends, they told me it's going to be like that. So you have to prepare and you write very short and just make sure that
whatever is not clear, it's giving you trouble. You remember minute per mark minute, mark minute. And I was a victim. Oh, sorry to cut you short. I was a victim of this many, many times, and I really can say some of the marks that I got that were not very good were because I didn't finish. Because then you're stuck on a question and you're thinking, I have to do this, but then you lose track of this minute mark aspect. The end of the day, you're not finished.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the last one, which is for both of us.
I read, if a student watching this feels like they don't belong in their European class, what would we have to say to them right now? Would you like to go first?
Maybe you go first.
I think if you're there and you're wondering, how do I fit in? The question is that what efforts are you doing currently to find a way of fitting in? Most of the times, human beings, we are the same in a way that, we relate to people who have more things in common with us and the other way around. So you have to be ready to embrace the discomfort and also to understand that, it's a different culture, different environment. Like you come and find all these gadgets and all this freedom, actually, that you didn't have back home in your education structure. But then this freedom comes at a cost that you have to plan your own time. You have to discipline yourself. The professor won't be on your case to get off the phone or get out of your WhatsApp or get out of your laptop. He will do his job. And then you, at the end of the day, if you do not discipline yourself to actually pay attention, ask questions, interact with the professor, it will be up to you. So, and also when it comes to student interactions in groups, to always ask questions, not to play smart, not to pretend you know so much, because then you'll be surprised. So to be relatable and let other people also contribute and ask what they would like or how they would like to do things before maybe you impose something. I think for me, in a nutshell, that would be something that I could scope up and say be culturally sensitive, and that can scope everything, all together. Yeah.
I would just say, my friend, relax, calm down, enjoy the space,
reduce your pressure,
be active, live actively. I would say, talk to people, small talk, ask your friends, ask around. I realize that you may be facing this wall and you can't figure out anything, but then just simply asking a friend, hey, how can I pass this subject? Give me some. You would be shocked. Someone will give you like 5 past papers for that same exam.
People have things.
People have things. They have links.
Send you a tool
exactly
where you get answers there.
Like, oh my God. Like, I have been shocked many times where someone shares with me a link. Like previously, the last semester, I asked one of my reading colleague, we were preparing for, we had this exam and we were reading together for this exam.
Mm-hmm.
And during the week of the exam, this person decided to do the exam the next take, and me, I decided to take the first take.
Oh.
Just some days before, I asked this person, hey, do you have any study material? This person shared with me an exam for the previous year, and I had no complete idea if this exam even existed. And I went through the questions like this. And when I went to the exam, I found like 2-3 questions from this exam, the previous exam. So, yeah, just relax. Talk to friends and live actively, and
also something maybe sorry.
And also communicate, like talk to people around you, your friends. It will really help a lot.
Maybe something also like talking to friends. If you find that maybe your issue is not actually cannot be easily solved by a friend, I've noticed our professors are actually very, very available. You just have to write an email for an appointment in their offices. All have offices, and they always have on the website. There are times when they're in the offices. In this time you can go. Some say, okay, I would rather have a notice ahead, so you write an email so they know that you're coming. And I've found that where you're having challenges, regardless whether it's to do with the material or to do with the way the lecture is conducted, they are very, very happy. Exactly. When you come to then talk one-on-one, you will see differences.
Yeah.
And one other thing I also noticed from ours, we do evaluations at every end of the course. Towards the exams, the professor will give us an evaluation form. Sometimes it's in Moodle, and you gauge everything, interactivity, how it was. So you're actually evaluating the professor's performance. And sometimes it was just also the professor knowing what they can improve. I can tell you, my friend, most of the professors, the next time you found them in maybe another subject or something, it was completely different. They would take this feedback to heart and look through how to improve, and it always made a difference. So I can say, talk to them as well.
Yeah. Also, regarding this, talking to the professors, you can also go and talk about your exam, like an exam review.
And you add me some points.
Yeah, you'll be like, I didn't really understand what happened here, but I need to know what happened.
I was expecting A, but I'm saying W.
Yeah, this is actually really a very good thing that professors do offer to students, and that students can also go and interact and ask feedback regarding how they answered questions, how they performed in an exam, and
So with that, I want to thank you for listening and watching Off the Equator show. We're pleased. Please subscribe if you like what we're doing, because we are bringing more of this content, and share with a friend. Drop a like on this video to give us more motivation to do more stuff. I remain Isaac.
Hamza here.
Goodbye.
See you in the next episode.
Ciao.
I don't know whether this kashat can continue, but I think
good. This is all work. 4 years of work. Exhibition.